For another spin of the Wheel of Justice, we team up with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office each week to help get wanted fugitives off the streets. Chris Hancock with JSO here. We have a capture to talk about. We're talking about a last-minute capture.
Absolutely. We had Julian Maxwell Williams was wanted for murder. He was recently captured in Texas, of all places, in a hurricane-infested area that was really hit hard. He was captured, and he is in custody, so we'll be bringing him back to Jacksonville as soon as we can.
Now, what's interesting here is that he was supposed to be our featured suspect, which means that we've got a new face to put on the wheel and feature.
Absolutely sure do. We have Mr. Darren Allen Martin.
Here, let me hold that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Darren Allen Martin, he's a white male. His date of birth is 8/21 of 84. He's 5'7", 160 pounds. He's wanted for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and burglary. His last known address was on the 100 block of 2nd Avenue South in Jacks Beach, and he is known to be driving a 1997 red Honda Passport. We need to get this guy off the street, so if anybody's got any information, let us know.
Doesn't look very approachable from that picture either.
No,
Go ahead and spin the wheel and see where it might land. Keep in mind, all these faces will be posted on news4jax.com later this afternoon. If you see any of these people on the streets or know of their whereabouts, please don't confront them. Let JSO know, and they'll take care of it. All right, the wheel stops on Mr. White.
Mr. White is wanted for
dealing in stolen property and false ID.
He is. Dealing in stolen property and false verification of ownership. He's got a $40,000 bond. He's 5'6", 150 pounds. And his last known address was in the 1700 block of West 12th Street, 32209.
Somebody has seen him. If so, you could be eligible for a reward. Number to call is Crime Stoppers, 866-845-TIPS. Chris, always a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
We have a neighborhood crime alert in Jacksonville Beach this morning. A couple catches a woman stealing an American flag from their home. The surveillance video that might help track her down. But first, if you're looking for a job, you might want to consider working at Wawa. When and where the store chain will hold a job fair. And we need to say good morning to LaTanya Lynch. She is our fan of the day today at 6 o'clock. Hope you're having a good day, LaTanya. We appreciate you watching. If you would like to be our Facebook fan, you know what to do. Just go to our page and give us a shout out.
Or send us to me.
The Jacksonville home and patio.
Want to get back to this live breaking news scene. It's in Northwest Jacksonville. The morning cam on Payne Court. This is a block east of James P. Small Park. Officers say that one person has been shot. That person was taken to the hospital. Again, we're expecting an update directly from police in about 20 minutes. We'll let you know what they tell us.
If you're looking for a job, Wawa is hiring. The company's holding job fairs to fill nearly 200 positions as it gets ready to open its convenience stores here in Jacksonville. First place to go if you want to apply. Tomorrow from 9 to 3 at the Homewood Suites at the St. John's Town Center. The second job fair will be on Tuesday, same location. Wawa is looking to hire supervisors and fill customer service positions. Employees will make up to $18 an hour. Number of food allergies is on the rise in American adults, but the cause is still unclear.
Coming up at 7, the ways the doctors say you can avoid getting sick while you go out to eat. We'll be right back.
First birthday is...
Come back. We have a quick neighborhood crime alert caught on camera. A woman stealing an American flag from a Jacksonville Beach home. The surveillance video shows her walk through the gate onto the porch and take that flag. The homeowners say that you can also see that woman walk over to the neighbor's house and try to get into their car. They are hoping that someone will notice her in the video so that they can get their flag back. Jacksonville Beach police say that woman could face burglary charges. We certainly appreciate you watching at 6. Please continue watching. Morning show starts now.
Breaking overnight, the iconic founder of Playboy magazine passes away.
I felt there was something more to life than the world I saw around me.
91-year-old Hugh Hefner died at the famous Playboy Mansion. Fans laying flowers at the mansion's gate.
The Playboy magazine did do a lot of groundbreaking things.
Celebrities pay tribute to Hef. We look back at his life and his legacy.
The price is not right. The top health official's job might be in jeopardy after costly charter flights trigger an investigation.
I am not happy with it. I will tell you, I am not happy with it.
The flights cost taxpayers more than $300,000. 2 other cabinet members now under investigation for suspicious travel expenses.
Getting bear aware. The fall is a busy time for the animals in Florida. We want your family to be prepared.
Health alert. A new report finds adult food allergies are on the rise. the food that causes the highest number of reactions.
Shark bite.
Come on, Johnny. Come on. Stab him or something.
A nurse shark latches onto a local man's stomach and won't let go.
I went and got a tetanus shot and actually kept on fishing that day.
The man explains the moment the shark tried to pull him underwater.
Tim Tebow touches down into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. The Jacksonville native and Gator great, the youngest member of the incoming class.
Live from WJXT, the morning show starts now.
Good morning. As news of Hugh Hefner's death spreads, the women featured in his Playboy magazine are paying tribute to the man who helped launch their careers. The silk-robed Casanova glamorized the bachelor lifestyle and helped spur the sexual revolution of the 1960s.
He died of natural causes at the Playboy Mansion in Beverly Hills at the age of 91. Since we first told you about this shortly before 11:30 last night with a push alert from our News 4 Jax app, fans have been gathering at the Playboy Mansion, taking pictures, as you can see, leaving flowers. Nikki joins us now. Nikki, Hefner built, well, Playboy from scratch, and it grew into a multi-million-dollar business.
I mean, and over a very long time, he just kept it going in different ways. He produced the first issue of Playboy. That was in 1953. He only had $8,000. He used his own money to do it. The cover featured this picture that you see here of Marilyn Monroe. It sold for 50 cents a copy. It was an immediate success, selling more than 50,000 copies. He then had money to make the second issue. The magazine eventually grew into an entertainment empire. At its peak in the 70s, it included TV shows, a jazz festival, and nightclubs.
Well, I have never really thought of Playboy as a sex magazine. What I've tried to do is create a lifestyle magazine for men.
What's your definition of obscenity?
Racism, war, bigotry, but sex itself, no. What a sad and cold world this would be if we weren't sexual beings. I mean, that's the heart of who we are.
In the early 1970s, Playboy was selling 7 million copies per month. That is when Hef moved into the famous Playboy Mansion. And some of the women featured in the magazine, they're paying tribute to him this morning. Jenny McCarthy, who was named Playmate of the Year in 1993, wrote, "Thank you for being a revolutionary and changing so many people's lives, especially mine. I hope I made you proud." Actress Donna D'Errico was a regular on Baywatch. She posed for Playboy magazine in 1995, and she tweeted, "Hugh Hefner put me in Playboy and ignited my career. I am forever indebted, Hef. You will forever live on as an icon of epic proportions." Fans are, of course, also remembering the Playboy. People gathered around his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and a crowd formed outside of the Playboy Mansion late last night with people taking pictures and leaving cards and flowers. Bruce and Jen.
It has been more than a week since Puerto Rico was devastated by Hurricane Maria, and people are still desperate for food, water, and medicine.
Yeah, one port in Puerto Rico has more than 1,500 containers of emergency supplies waiting to be distributed. But because of fuel shortages and destroyed roads, the trucks just can't get them to the people. 97% of the island is still without power.
Governor Rick Scott's going to San Juan today. He's pledged to do whatever he can to help with relief efforts. Now, 3 donation drives going on this weekend here in Northeast Florida. 2 on Saturday. One's at the Oak Leaf Expo from 9 to 5. The other's at the Italian American Club in Palm Coast from 6 p.m. to midnight. Then Sunday, there'll be a donation drive at the Jacksonville Landing. It runs from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So these are the things that they need the most: water, non-perishable foods, batteries, toiletries, diapers, and cleanup supplies. It's 4 minutes after 7 o'clock this morning. Will Tom Price be the next one to hear President Trump say, "You're fired"? The Health and Human Services Secretary is being criticized for taking private chartered planes instead of traveling on commercial flights to 2 speaking engagements.
There's been controversy over the cost of the flights. Needless to say, the president thinks the price wasn't right. Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price is drawing criticism for the cost of his recent travels. Politico reports he's made more than 24 trips on private charter planes over the past few months, and they cost taxpayers more than $300,000.
It would have been a firing offense in the Obama administration.
President Trump was not pleased.
I am going to see, I'm looking at that very closely. I am not happy with it. I will tell you, I am not happy with it.
When asked if Price's job was at risk, Mr. Trump would only say, "We'll see."
This notion of just living high on the hog and flying private jets instead of serving the people that sent you here, I mean, that is the the very element of the argument Donald Trump was making to people across this country who voted for him.
White House officials tell CNN that Price has apologized to Mr. Trump for drawing negative attention. The irony, in 2010, when Price was a Georgia congressman, he blasted then Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi for doing the same exact thing.
I want to say to the Speaker, don't you fly over our country in your luxury jet and lecture us on what it means to be an American. Don't you tell us about America.
Secretary Price is one of 3 cabinet members now being investigated for suspicious travel expenses, in addition to Secretaries Mnuchin of the Treasury and Pruitt of the EPA. Well, a middle-class miracle. That's how President Trump describes his tax reform plan.
So the tax plan seeks to slash the corporate rate from 35% to 20%. It would also create 3 individual tax brackets instead of 7. The White House also wants to simplify the tax code to allow the majority of Americans to file on a single sheet of paper. The plan would first need to be turned into a bill and then be passed by Congress. Some Democrats have already called the plan a vague framework that fails the middle class. We are following a local breaking news alert in northwest Jacksonville. Someone has been shot in a neighborhood less than a mile from UF Health Hospital.
News for Jax is live on the scene. There's the view through our morning cam. It's on Payne Court. JXO is expected to bring us up to date any minute now about what happened. All we know at this point is that the wounded person was taken to the hospital. As soon as we get more information, bring it to you on air and online at newsforjax.com. At 7:07, a warning from Florida Fish and Wildlife. We are now in the most active time of year for black bear activity.
And there are things that you can do right now to keep the dangerous animals away from your home. Channel 4's Ashley Harding joining us now live from Bartram Springs, where one of our most recent bear sightings happened. It was just a couple of months ago, Ashley.
Jen, it was just a couple of months ago. A bear was spotted here in July right in front of a family's home. And then that same bear was caught roaming around just feet away from some children. Now, by our records, over the last 2 years, there have been 6 bear sightings in Northeast Florida, and get this, they were all spotted during the summer months. Now, this is video of the bear that was spotted here in Bartram Springs. He was caught on surveillance overnight, but then was seen during the day. Now, wildlife experts say fall is when bears are eating more because they're getting ready for the winter. Now, some things you, the homeowner, need to know. First, take your garbage out on the morning of pickup rather than the night before. Protect your gardens, your beehives, compost, and livestock with electric fencing. And feed pets indoors or bring in the dishes after feeding outside. Also, clean your grills and store them in a secure place. And remove wildlife feeders or make them bear resistant. Another tip, pick ripe fruit from trees and remove any fallen fruit. Now remember, it is against the law to intentionally feed bears or leave out food or garbage that will attract bears. If you suspect someone is doing this, you are asked to give FWC a call. We've actually posted that number on our website, newsforjax.com. We're live this morning. Ashley Harding, Channel 4, the local station.
This morning, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is searching for 2 men they say were involved in a deadly shooting at a Lakeshore strip club.
Happened at the Flash Dancers Gentlemen's Club on Blanding Boulevard in San Juan Avenue just after 1 Wednesday morning. Channel 4's Chris Parento joins us live outside the club. Chris, the man who was killed was a military veteran and a father.
He was. Bruce's wife says he served in the Iraq War and he was a father of 4. She says that early yesterday morning he was working as a security guard here at Flash Dancers in the Lakeshore area when he was trying to break up a fight that started inside the club but eventually spilled out here into the parking lot where he was shot and killed. The family's asking for privacy right now as they deal with the 33-year-old's death. A friend tells News 4 Jax Chrisman was breaking up a fight after a man hit one of the dancers. That fight spilled into the parking lot where Chrisman was shot. He later died in the hospital. Now, police hope surveillance pictures can help find the shooter. Police say these 2 men left the club in this SUV early yesterday morning. Investigators believe they may have information about the shooting. Chrisman's family hopes these photos bring them justice. If you know anything about the person who shot Will Chrisman, you're asked to call the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, or you can call Crime Stoppers and remain anonymous at 866-845-TIPS. Live on the west side, I'm Chris Parento, Channel 4, the local station.
Chris, thank you. In just a few days, O.J. Simpson could be released on parole in Las Vegas. Process is in motion for the former football player and actor, but still has to be approved.
So Melanie is following this story from our National World News Desk. Mel, a close friend says that he has offered to have Simpson live with him in Naples, and we're waiting to hear whether or not that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who were vouching for him during that hearing, and that would require, though, an agreement between parole departments in Nevada and in Florida for that one to happen. Now, so far, Florida has not received any transfer paperwork, according to the Department of Corrections. Right now, 70-year-old Simpson remains at the correctional center in Nevada, awaiting transfer to the state prison outside of Vegas, where he would be freed. He spent 9 years behind bars for his 2008 armed robbery and kidnapping convictions. His release could come on Monday. Once he's freed, he would be supervised by parole and probation officials. More than 120,000 people have now fled the Indonesian tourist island of Bali because of fears that a volcano will soon erupt. This morning, that volcano is at its highest alert level. This video shows disaster relief teams who are ready to help. It erupted back in 1963. 1,100 people were killed. It remained active for about a year after that. An industry group has filed a legal challenge to new requirements by Governor Scott that these nursing homes must install generators to the air conditioning systems all within 60 days. This group represents more than 100 nursing homes and assisted living facilities, calling the time frame, quote, impossible. The governor issued those new requirements after about 11 people were killed this month in a Broward County nursing home that lost power during Hurricane Irma. Former Nice High School student and Florida Gator Tim Tebow will be one of the 5 athletes inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame this year. The UF football team tweeted its congratulations to the former Heisman Trophy winner following a 3-year NFL career that included stints with the Broncos, the Jets. Tebow has turned his attention now to baseball. Other members of this year's class include Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer Chipper Jones. He's a Bulls graduate. FSU and Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Warwick Dunn, and PGA Tour Commissioner Tim Fincham. Tebow, though, is the youngest member of the incoming class. Back to you guys.
Quite a class there.
Yeah, and a lot of excitement. Congratulations to him.
With Jacksonville ties, which makes it
Love
even
it.
cooler.
Yeah, and he's such a great human being. You know, so it's good. It's good to see good things happen.
He truly cares about other people and makes a difference in life.
Thanks, Mel.
All right, 7:13. Let's talk about the weather as we head toward the weekend. There'll be change, but in the meantime, today, more of the same.
I have to tell you, Rich, yesterday I had some work done on my car, and one of the techs came up to me and said, I'm getting married outside on Saturday. Do I need to move it inside? I'm like, well, I'll find out from Rich, and she's watching.
Well, I would say that my forecast is only driven by Jen, and Jen would be the reason that you may have to move inside. What? I would like to have it sunny, but Jen prefers the nor'easter, so I just got to do what she says. Hey, before we get into the nor'easter, mow or no mow into the forecast. It looks like today and tomorrow are really going to be your good days to get out. So for today and this afternoon, same thing goes here for Friday. Late Friday, clouds are rolling in, and then we have that nor'easter, so your grass is just basically going to be wet from the overnight hours, and through Sunday where it becomes even more breezy. So plan as you will for that. Let's take you into the tropics as the folks here from the Outer Banks and up to the Mid-Atlantic will watch the surf, the seas begin to slowly recede as Maria will sail off into the deep tropics. 5 o'clock numbers have her pointing the right direction, east and northeast, now moving away from land. That latest coordinates as of 5 o'clock, 36.8 north and 71.0 to the west. And we've also got Lee that is also going to move in the right way, moving to the north right now. We'll go northeast and east-northeast. And then we've got this wet weather maker coming through. Even if it does not fully form, it is still going to be one of the reasons that the nor'easter starts to kick in as that low travels from the south to the north. I'll let you get your cameras fired up, get your phones in hand, so you can click a pic here. Where do we sit? 15 minutes after the hour. Sunrise is at 7:15. And you can see that spot as it continues to get brighter and brighter. Very cool. Nice shot there. 77 degrees as we take you to Jax Beach with the west and southwesterly flow. Visibility is improving for everybody here south of I-10. Brunswick went the other way down to a half-mile visibility along US 17 and portions of 95. Meanwhile, from Baldwin and all the way to the beaches, looking good. Patchy fog and warm. Near record highs. We'll miss the mark. Yesterday we missed it by 1 degree. We'll miss it by about 4 degrees today, but the real story is going to be the fact that it feels like the triple digits as the kids are hopping off the bus and you hit those daytime highs in the lower 90s. Temperatures, 60s continue there at Homerville. Elsewhere it's the 70s. You slip by 2. at St. Simons. Still a warm start. Our 60s throughout our northeast Florida pockets, and the inland areas give way to the 70s at Putnam Hall, and those 70s continue out to the Golden Isles, to the sandy shores here into St. Johns County. This is the low that, whether it forms or not, is still going to be. So high pressure's to the north, the low starts to move, and watch as the winds change, and you'll see the needles where you see more and more of them indicates that we've got the stronger winds. So this is creeping up the coastal zones there for Friday, which is why I keep that chance for showers coming in into our evening forecast. But here's where the winds really start to funnel through. And if you note, the depiction here brings the rainfall up to about the spine of the state. So Putnam County, Clay County, northward through Charlton here, we could see some of the rain. But by the time you get through Stark, Lottie, and into Alachua and Columbia County, a reduced chance for the rainfall, where we're advertising that 50-50 shot. It's going to total up to about a 30-40% chance, as some of that may cross over the state under what will be the increasing winds, and Sunday's going to be the brunt of it. For today, the pinpoint numbers take us into the 90s, low to mid 90s inland, upper 80s to those lower 90s along our coastal zones. And in southeast Georgia, even though the numbers backed off, they dropped 1 degree, 94 to 95, still approaching those mid 90s, with the inland areas seeing the lower 90s, and then those Golden Isles warming up to the upper 80s too, occasionally some of those low 90 pockets. 92 degrees in the River City. Northwest winds will become southeasterly. The record 96. Yesterday we got to 93 and the record was 94 degrees. The impact here for this weekend's nor'easters starts with the wind. That's going to continue to drive in the surf, which will lead to the erosion. And trapped inside of that, we could also see some of the training events. So 1 to 2 inches possible. Isolated amounts may get upwards of about 4 inches, and the tidal flooding, whether it's the beaches and or sections of the river, 1 to 2 feet above normal, as we'll start to see some of that damming effect from that onshore wind. Not as strong as what we saw before Irma, though. Friday, Saturday, and Sundays where things start to turn inclement overnight through Sunday, and as that low continues to traverse north, we're still under the chance for some showers through Monday. 18 minutes after the hour, let's check in with Crystal Knight, Keith Pearson Toyota, Time Saver Traffic.
Now, here's Keith Pearson Toyota, Time Saver Traffic.
Listen up, FHP troopers are busy out on the roads. We're dealing with several crashes, especially on the west side. Traveling eastbound along I-10, you're going to run into a wreck at Cassett Avenue, blocking the right shoulder. It is causing a delay in traffic all the way back to I-295. As you're continuing over to the I-95 split, you're going to see those normal rush hour delays. Allow 15 minutes from 295 over to I-95, and we will see that drive time increase as the morning progresses. Here's a live look with the DOT cameras, I-10 at I-295. This is just before you hit all of that delay from the crash that's over on Cassett Avenue. So traffic is able to move freely eastbound. Once you get near Lane Avenue, that's when you're going to see a lot of those heavy delays. Also on the south side, there's still a crash being worked along I-295, the northbound ramp onto Phillips Highway. The right shoulder is blocked. The crash was moved off of that right lane onto the right shoulder. Those road rangers are on the scene trying to direct traffic over into those left-hand lanes. Not seeing any delays from that wreck right now. Now, if you're traveling southbound along I-95, this is towards the Brentwood area, you're going to see a wreck. This is at MLK Parkway, and just south of that, there's another crash just before you hit I-10. So definitely a busy area there along I-95 from Brentwood over down to the Riverside area. And if you're traveling along I-295, this is heading towards Mandarin. We're seeing those normal rush hour delays building between Blanding Boulevard and Roosevelt. You're moving around 19 miles per hour. Once you get onto the Buckman Bridge, you're moving to 27 miles per hour. And then, of course, once you get to San Jose Boulevard and Mandarin, you're slowing down to about 24 miles per hour. So allow a little bit of time to get throughout that area. Here's your drive times right now. Heading southbound, you're looking at a 23-minute ride between Blanding and I-95. Some of those hot spots between Blanding and Roosevelt, where it's going to take you about 6 minutes. Between Roosevelt and San Jose Boulevard, getting over the Buckman Bridge. Slow traffic also has you at an 11-minute ride. And then from San Jose Boulevard all the way down to I-95, just about 7 minutes. That was your Keith Pearson Toyota Time Saver Traffic. Bruce, Jen.
Thank you, Crystal. Time now to announce the winner for our Football Friday Game of the Week. We asked you to vote for one of these 4 matchups.
Number 1, Lee at Atlantic Coast. Number 2, Jackson at Rains. 3rd, Creekside at Bartram Trail. Or did you choose Hilliard at Episcopal? Well, basically, the winner is Jackson at Rains.
Remember to download our Football Friday app. You'll find weather updates, directions to those schools, and game highlights. Just search WJXT in your app store. So we saw gas prices, remember this, they jumped after Hurricanes Irma and Harvey. Now, though, prices at the pump are coming back down.
Take a look at the numbers locally. and a shark bites a local man while he's fishing and won't let go.
Come on, Johnny. Come on. Stab him or something.
How did they manage to finally get that shark to loosen its grip? But first, adult food allergies are on the rise.
The food that causes the largest number of reactions, next.
News 4 Jax, covering the big local stories from your neighborhood.
There's no other time.
Health alert for you about food allergies. They are on the rise among adults. Some new data that finds insurance claims due to allergic reactions to food rose 377% from 2007 to 2016.
That is a huge jump. So the food causing the most allergic reactions is peanuts with about 26%. Other nuts and seeds were a close second at 18%. Shellfish caused about 6% of reactions, and 33% of reactions were from other foods. Doctors say the key to decreasing these numbers is to try to really maintain a balanced diet with lots of fruits and vegetables. Doctors might be able to diagnose chronic traumatic encephalopathy, it's also known as CTE, earlier than ever before.
The condition is common in people who play contact sports, but right now it can only be confirmed after someone dies during an autopsy. Well, scientists believe they found a protein that serves as a marker for the condition. They evaluated the brains of 23 football players with CTE and compared them to the brains of 50 people with Alzheimer's, 18 non-athletes, all dead. They found significantly higher amounts of a specific protein associated with inflammation in CTE patients, but they do say before they can do anything conclusive, they've got to do more research. Covering Putnam County, where starting tonight, aerial mosquito spraying is set to begin.
More than 130 acres will be covered overnight. That's according to the Palatka Daily News. So airplanes will start spraying a chemical that has been approved by the EPA tonight starting at 8 o'clock, and they'll do so until about 5 o'clock in the morning. Right now, it's the only spraying that has been scheduled in Putnam County. CSX has cut thousands of local jobs recently. We have been following that closely, and now we've learned the company may cut even more next month.
Equifax's new CEO already making some big changes, and gas prices starting to get back to normal. I'm Jane King. I'll have those stories coming up.
And speaking of changes, sun's going to come up today. No big change from what we experienced yesterday, but when you look at the weekend forecast, you'll notice a marked difference. Bridget's forecast is next.
Stretch your mind. Show starts right now with a breaking news alert.
7:30, an update to the local breaking news alert we first told you about 20 minutes ago. In the last few minutes, GSO released new information about a shooting in northwest Jacksonville.
So this is a live look at the scene. You can still see active police presence there. Police tell us that they were called to an apartment at about 5:30 this morning, and they found someone with 2 gunshot wounds inside an apartment unit. Now, the person was taken to the hospital, was not seriously hurt. If you know anything that can help find the shooter, you are asked to call the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
Always watching, always tracking. Channel 4 is the weather authority.
Gonna need the AC today because it's gonna feel like triple digits out there.
How hot's it gonna get, Rich?
92 on the thermometer, 100 to 105 degrees on that heat index scale. Beautiful shots over downtown. Even the tower cams for the DOT. Crystal was just sharing some of those shots. Beautiful all the way across the board from St. Augustine right back here to our sandy shores. Let's get into the forecast as Maria and Lee are moving into the deeper water. Good news for the folks here along the Mid-Atlantic and Bermuda. But we're watching this with what becomes a 40% chance for development over the next 5 days. And I'm going to walk you through that part of the forecast here as all of that moisture is going to start to move up. It is part of what becomes our nor'easter here for this weekend. So let's focus in on that. It's not as strong as what we saw pre-Irma, but we're still going to see some sustained winds, especially on Sunday at, say, 15 to 25 miles per. Gusts are going to take us in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. We've got the driving wind, so we've got the driving surf. Further erosion, heavy rainfall coming in. Some of those bands, as they stack up, those little feeders could get into like a little training event, one right after the next, and that could give us the locally heavy rainfall amounts. Otherwise, 1 to 2 inch on average. And flooding is going to remain a possibility, not just along our coastal zones, but also inland because it's going to slow down the river. We're already running above elevated tide levels, so that could go up another 1 to possibly 2 feet. As we get the kids ready here for that Friday Eve walk to the bus stop, 30-degree spread between what you'll feel this morning and what you'll run into this afternoon. And that's just on the thermometer. As we get into what will be these near record highs, we're still talking about the triple digits. A few clouds and then those mild conditions overnight tonight. Looks a little bit more hazy here as we turn away from the sun. We are now at 72 degrees. Fantastic. That's what we wanted. Into the forecast, when it comes to the wind, we start off offshore. We'll see light flow here and then turning to the southeast. That could give us just a couple of showers for this Thursday. It's that 10%. Starting off with the winds out of the south, and then we'll see those turning onshore here through Friday, and they begin to increase. Notice that we're mostly in the double digits here. It's late in the day, and I'll say 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, where we could see some of those showers. And you see where the needles continue to multiply and punch through. The winds will increase overnight on Friday and continue to be elevated through Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday's forecast. Temperatures in the upper 60s, giving way to 70s, upper 70s, all the way out to Jack's Beach now. And in southeast Georgia, still holding steady at 68 degrees, lower 70s. Even St. Simon's, after seeing 78, has slipped just a little bit. To wrap it up, your forecast for today, Jacksonville, 92 for a high. In St. Augustine and along the beaches, the upper 80s to those lower 90s. We'll take you through the remainder of the weekend coming up in just about 10 minutes. 33 minutes after 7 o'clock. Crystal, how's that Keith Person put it? Time saver traffic.
My traffic map is just lighting up. A lot of crashes going on right now, as well as rush hour delays. And this is starting off in the Sandalwood area, I-295 southbound at St. John's Bluff. There is a crash out there. Injuries may be involved. The left shoulder is blocked, but backing up just a little bit, traffic starts all the way after the Dames Point Bridge. So once you're approaching Merrill Road, you're moving at 19 miles per hour. Just before you hit Atlantic Boulevard, 22 miles per hour. You'll definitely want to allow some extra time heading southbound. This is on the East Beltway, just after the Dames Point Bridge. On the west side, we continue to see bumper-to-bumper traffic after a wreck along I-10 eastbound at Cassett Avenue. Blocks the right shoulder. Backing up there, it's going to take you about 23 minutes from 295 over to the downtown area. Taking a check with the speeds right now between Lane and Cassett, you're moving at 12 miles per hour. Heading on towards Roosevelt, you're moving at 11 miles per hour. Again, if you can take an alternate route, I would suggest you hop on to West Beaver Street. That may get you over towards the downtown area a lot faster than I-10 right now. And on the south side, we're still finishing up with a crash along I-295 northbound, that ramp onto Phillips Highway. Remember, earlier this morning, a lane was blocked. FHP is on the scene, as well as some of those first responders. There may have been injuries involved in this crash as well. So we are seeing some delays out there. The right shoulder is blocked, so all lanes are open, but those onlooker delays causing an issue for drivers on the south side. And then towards Brentwood, still seeing some delays heading southbound along I-95. That's because of a crash along MLK Parkway. All lanes are open. This crash was pushed off to the side, but keep in mind traffic has slowed down to about 32 miles per hour. I'll keep you updated with your next Keith Pearson Toyota Time Saver Traffic. Bruce, Jen.
Crystal, thank you. Checking on Money Matters this morning, Equifax says it will offer free credit freezes for life. And a report indicates CSX may have another round of job cuts in October.
Jane King's joining us now live from the NASDAQ with those stories and more in this morning's Money Matters report. Good morning to you, Jane. CSX may actually be cutting more jobs. Are you kidding?
Well, Bruce and Jen, so a Maryland radio station where CSX actually has an operation, and WCBC reports that there were layoffs locally at CSX, although it didn't have any exact numbers. Now, the report also said CSX may cut more jobs in October. A CSX spokesperson, Rob Doolittle, did tell the radio station that there were layoffs, but did not confirm the numbers. So we'll see. This is in Cumberland, Maryland, and we'll continue to watch because no real official information yet from CSX about that, but it's something we'll certainly keep an eye on.
Equifax has a new CEO who just took over, not wasting any time making changes.
Boy, day one, right? I mean, Equifax will debut a new service. It will permanently give consumers the ability to freeze and unfreeze their credit for free for life. The service will be introduced by January 31st. That's according to this new CEO. He wrote an apology letter in the Wall Street Journal. The company will also extend the sign-up period for the Trusted ID Premier. That's that free credit monitoring service it's offering to all U.S. consumers.
So, Jane, gas prices are finally starting to fall. I know at my gas station where I usually, fill up, it's down by about 10 cents.
Yeah, they've really, the past couple of weeks, they've taken a big drop after weeks of slowly slipping. So regular unleaded have dropped about 6 cents in the last week. That's according to AAA. The average nationwide is $2.62 a gallon. AAA says the current average in Jacksonville is $2.63. So right at the nationwide average.
There you go. And there were some interesting findings in the latest Federal Reserve Wealth Report.
Really was. Black and Latino households without college degrees had the biggest gain in wealth during the economic recovery. So this is 2013 to 2016 was the period of time that they measured. They did say that significant wealth gaps, of course, do still continue. But for the first time since the crisis, a majority of Americans do have money in the stock market. So a lot of really interesting tidbits of information out of that Fed report.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out further. Thank you, Jane.
Yep. Okay.
Well, it's no fishtail. A Green Coast Springs man had way too close of an encounter with a shark while he was fishing in the Florida Keys.
So the man swimming a few miles off the coast of Marathon when he felt a bite on his stomach. It was a 2 to 3 foot nurse shark.
No, hold him still. Hold him still. We'll get him. We gotta lay down.
Come on, Johnny. Come on. Stab him or something.
I think we're gonna have to kill him, Irv.
Yeah. Yes, stab him.
Yeah. Irvin McCarthy said the shark tried to pull him underwater. It took about 20 minutes to get back to the boat. After that, his friends used a knife, killed the shark. It took about 6 minutes to get the shark off his stomach.
Irvin said that his wound isn't that bad and it's mostly healed. He says he's not afraid either to get back in the water. You can watch the uncut footage from the boat, by the way, on our website, newsforjax.com. Just look inside this story in the home page. We do want to warn you, though, that the uncut video is graphic. It's interesting, too, because nurse sharks, their teeth are at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
How did he...
Latch on.
Yeah.
And stay latched on.
And they're generally not at all aggressive. I mean, you have to really go after them for them to really even nip you.
And I got to tell you, we told you the video can be kind of graphic. When you wash away some of the blood that was on his belly, and part of it's from killing the shark, it's not as bad as you think. So it was interesting to watch, to say the least. Work's now underway to clean up a Northside Park that was covered in filthy sludge after Irma moved through.
So we saw crews laying down new mulch at Charles Reese Park in the Ribault neighborhood. Portions of the park still remain closed. Parents, though, are reminded, of course, to tell their kids not to enter the park until it is reopened. Covering Flagler County now, an assistance center will be open tomorrow through Saturday for anyone who still needs help following Hurricane Irma.
The Wickline Center on South Daytona Avenue in Flagler Beach will be open from 9 to 4. Those who need a ride can schedule it by calling Flagler County Transportation. Another hot day on tap for today, and Rich says we are in for a wet weekend.
We do have that wet weekend with that nor'easter that's stacking up, but for today, this is where we should be, about 85 degrees. This is what it's going to feel like. We'll have that part of your forecast coming up after the break.
140 plus? Wow, that's got to be a record.
Inside. All right, first, texting and flying. Delta will soon allow passengers to send text messages on its flights for free.
Really? Get something from the airlines for free?
I know. Let's wait.
So when's this perk start? Let's find out next.
Pink plate!
In a few days, Delta will allow passengers to send text messages while they're in the air.
And the service is free through the GoGo Wi-Fi app. Along with texts, customers will also be able to send iMessages, WhatsApp messages, and Facebook messages on flights. Pictures, videos, audio messages will not work. The service starts Sunday. Delta says of its 1,300 planes, only 130 do not have Wi-Fi. Macy's is trying to win back shoppers as it faces one of its toughest slumps in history.
Starting next week, shoppers who spend $1,200 or more each year get 5% of that money back in store credit. Of the $25 billion Macy's makes annually, 50% comes from big spenders. Experts say it's about 10 times more expensive to win a new customer than to entice a current one to stick around.
So to keep the trend going, next year Macy's plans to introduce more features, including exclusive access to new fragrances and personalized trunk shows as well. All right, it is about 16 minutes or so before 8 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Weekend is right around the corner. We've got some changes in the weather.
We do, but in the meantime, Rich, I was just flabbergasted when you did that demonstrative thing. You said, this is where we should be, and the temperature's going to feel like 148 degrees today.
Just about. We're going to be very close to it. It's either going to be a record daytime high or just an absolute sweat fest, and I'm leaning toward the latter. We're watching this low pressure area as it does become part of the windy and wet part of our forecast. This low expected to lift to the north. The GFS tries to develop it. It actually does something kind of interesting. Develops it near Palm Beach, moves it off from Brevard, kind of does a little curlicue, and brings it back into areas of Jacksonville. We'll continue to watch for that. Meanwhile, as we take you out here, step out of the way you can see where the brighter slots are. a nice shot from US 17 as we're over by Clay County and Doctors Lake and the Marina. 77 degrees right now. The humidity at 82%. Still offshore with the winds, but the wind will turn back onshore later today. It's going to come from the southeast this afternoon, and with that interaction, a really weak chance, that same 10% that we saw yesterday, for some showers. Half-mile visibility Brunswick, 7 here for Waycross and Lake City. And as we look across the Beltway, everybody else showing 10 miles visibility. We've got near record highs in the forecast for today. We've got a few clouds that are in the mix for this evening. And as we'll see here for the remainder of today, as we get the kids on and off the bus, we've got 72 out there this morning, and they're hopping off the bus at 92 degrees under those mostly clear conditions. 70s continue almost area-wide throughout southeast Georgia. Homerville still checking in with the upper 60s. And we slipped a little bit here in our coastal zones. Still warm, though, as you get out to St. Simons. And we continue mainly in the 60s here for our Florida zones. So that low that I was just showing you here to the south will start to slowly migrate to the north. And as it does so, watch as the needles begin to collect here. This is going to be that illustration of what will be the increasing onshore flow. So through Thursday, you got the southeasterly flow, high pressure to the north, and that low pressure continues to move through Friday. Friday's forecast, more of an east and northeasterly flow here, and that's going to pick up right around the afternoon. And there's where late Friday night we could see some showers, and then into what becomes that windy forecast. And you see the depiction where the rain kind of spreads almost up to about the spine of the state. We could see some that would cross from the Atlantic all the way over to the Gulf of Mexico, but our primary threat is going to be right along the coastal areas, with Sunday being the big day for what will be the wet weather. 90s widespread in our inland areas. As a matter of fact, we're looking at low to mid 90s. The coastal zones will top out mainly in the upper 80s with a few of those lower 90s. And in southeast Georgia, that pinpoint forecast does take us up to the mid 90s with our coastal areas. Again, you get out to the islands, it's the upper 80s. Once you start to move inland, we'll find temperatures where they begin to build into the 90s, and that continues to spread throughout southeast Georgia. 92 degrees here for today. We'll see those temperatures topping out right around 2 to 3. The record is 96. That was set back in the 1900s, but the focus here is the weekend forecast. It starts with the wind, which leads to the erosion, which drives in what could be some of that locally heavy rainfall, and then the tidal flooding. So we're talking the river as well as the beaches running above normal as that astronomical daytime high, or as the astronomical tide cycle sets in. Daytime highs will start to slip here through Friday, leading into Saturday and Sunday's forecast, along with what becomes that 50-50 shot. Again, heavily focused into our coastal areas, stronger wind on Sunday. I mean, we're talking wind gusts that could get up to about 40 miles an hour. And then Monday's forecast, this is where the low starts to sail back out into the Atlantic, but it still will be offering us some of those showers, at least through Tuesday, and some leftovers out there on Wednesday. I like to share the pictures that you've been setting in, so we'll go with sort of a reverse look. Island Girl sent hers in. She was doing a little morning walk. A great shot there. I like the star out there. And then Don Rico nailed that one. That's just a cool shot. Look at the morning colors there stacking up around Jack's Beach. Hank also sending in her pictures, a beautiful sunrise, and thank you for sharing that. That's a great shot. And let's see, I think we had one more, and this one comes with a special message for Ashley Mitchum, and congratulations to the beautiful and her new daughter. Thank you for sending in the pictures, and Craig the train man, thank you for the kind words. Bruce and Jen, back to you.
Thanks, Rich. A suicide that sparked nationwide controversy.
A teenager killed himself, and his girlfriend was charged with manslaughter. Now we're hearing from the teen's family after his death. And ready to start a family but having trouble getting pregnant?
It could be your stress level. 5 easy ways to de-stress and increase your chances of conceiving. That story's next. Plus,
with the fallout from the Equifax data breach, you might be wondering, can you avoid Equifax and the financial bureaus altogether? Well, tonight at 5, how experts say in certain situations, you can sidestep the credit bureau.
Burke and Chevy of McClellan.
Ready to start a family but having trouble getting pregnant? Well, according to a new study, it could be your stress levels.
So Melanie's joining us now. Mel, there are ways to increase, though, your chances of conceiving.
Yeah, and you know, people who want a baby in their family will just do anything to try to make that happen. So these are some easy tips that you can integrate into your life, make you healthier in general. Well, a new study has confirmed that a woman's high stress levels reduces her chance of conception by up to 45%. There are a lot of ways to de-stress in your everyday life and increase those chances of getting pregnant.
The first step to increasing your odds of conceiving is to avoid stress. Of course, this isn't always possible, so it's important to practice mindful relaxation techniques to counteract the stressors. Mindful meditation is a key aspect. You can also drink green tea or eat mood-boosting foods like pretzels or chocolate. Just be sure to watch your portion size. 100-calorie packs work well in this situation. You might also want to try creating a specific space in your home for relaxation. Retreat there and listen to soothing music. You could make this your bathroom and take a hot bath with salts and soaps to ease your tension. Exercising daily before unwinding can also boost endorphins and reduce stress. Women's Health magazine also has some good tips to increase your chance of conception. You can take prenatal vitamins and use smartphone health apps like Clue, which will allow you to track your cycle and prompt you with feedback as to when your fertility window is about to begin. You might also want to cut back on caffeine. Several studies have shown it can increase the amount of time it takes to conceive. And go easy on the alcohol. You don't need to abstain, but stick with no more than 2 servings per day.
So while you should exercise regularly, be sure not to overexert yourself. Training for a marathon, for example, will result in increased stressors, which ultimately could be problematic for conception. Bruce Jen, back to you.
Plus, you just stress about trying to get pregnant, so you don't need to add to it.
Exactly.
About 13,000 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer every year.
But major changes are being made to make screening for the disease a lot easier. We're going to talk to a local doctor who breaks down what this could mean for you. That's ahead at 8 o'clock.
But first, a series of text messages pushes a teenager to kill himself. Now, his mother and sisters are talking about it. That's next.
Like WJXT4, the local station, on Facebook.
In this moment,
Conrad Roy was just 18 years old when he took his own life, and his suicide sparked nationwide controversy because of a court found his girlfriend, 17-year-old Michelle Carter, guilty of manslaughter.
Her weapon, a series of text messages that urged Roy to kill himself. Today, Roy's mother and 2 sisters will talk exclusively with Dr. Oz.
You just need to do it, Conrad. The more you push it off, the more it will eat at you. You're ready and prepared. All you have to do is turn the generator on, and you will be free and happy. Those are some of the last text messages Conrad Roy read before taking his own life. We're back with his mother, Lynn, and his sisters, Camden and Morgan. It's unbearable for me to hear those messages. I don't know how you do it. Why do you feel it's important for people to hear what Michelle told your son?
Why do I think it's important? Because you should be talking someone out of the way they're feeling, the opposite. He had an amazing future. He was the most selfless, kindest person I've ever met in my life. I know he's my son, but he really was. He was very kind. I don't know anyone that said anything different about him. She said that, you know, where is your brother? But the police records have that she was listening to him die in his truck for about 40 minutes. She heard him cry in pain as he was dying.
How do you even process that someone could be that inhuman?
I believe some people have no soul, no conscience.
Hear more of this emotional interview and more from Roy's family today on Channel 4. Dr. Oz airs after the morning show at 10 o'clock.
More to come in the 8 o'clock hour.
Live from the local station, the morning show starts now.
End of an era. American icon and Playboy magazine founder Hugh Hefner dead at 91. How the man affectionately known as Hef is being remembered.
After Maria, Florida leaders, including our governor, heading to the island to help. Much needed supplies stuck at port.
They have their equipment available and ready, then they're facing the challenge of the fact that there's no fuel.
How Northeast Florida is stepping up to help.
Talking taxes, St. Augustine Beach city leaders are tackling property taxes, what it means for your pocketbook. Good morning. We'll have the latest on those stories in just a minute, but we're also following new information that affects the health of women everywhere.
Yeah, Melanie, there are some major changes when it comes to screening specifically for cervical cancer.
Yeah, we're going to delve into this in more depth in a minute, but these new recommendations about how often women should get a pap smear or an HPV test. Dr. Scott Ackerman is here to break down the changes and what it means for you and your health.
All right, we need to talk.
Uh-oh, nothing ever good comes after that. Someone's in trouble.
All right, those 4 words, if you're in a relationship and somebody says, we need to talk.
Or it isn't you, it's me.
Here's the thing, how you can tell that your partner has cheated just by listening to their voice.
Really?
Not what they say, but listening like to the tone of their voice.
Yes.
Often it's what people don't say that tells you more than you want to know.
How do you know? No, I'm just kidding.
We're not going to go there.
I read a lot. The articles in Playboy.
Oh, good point.
Get a quick check on the weather.
Too soon.
Every day. Every day, Rich.
Yeah,
Every
somebody-
day.
He's been
hit that
quiet for
weather
2
button.
days. He's been quiet. I was wondering what happened to him. He's
He
been quiet for 2
he
days.
didn't
He's
feel
been
well.
sick. Exactly. He's feeling
He's
better.
better now.
Hands up.
All right, so that look at your forecast here for today. We'll see those temperatures topping out at 92 degrees. That'll come up about 4 degrees shy of a record. The feels like still takes us into the triple digits, 100 to 105 degrees. 96 was the record that was set back in the early 1900s. We'll have more of your forecast as we get you ready for this Thursday and your weekend outlook coming up in 10 minutes. Let's get you ready for the roadways with Crystal and that Keith Pearson Toyota Time Saver Traffic.
We're still seeing some heavy delays on the west side because of a wreck along I-10 eastbound. This is at Cassett Avenue. Things wrapping up out there. It was blocking the right shoulder, but you could see the red traffic flow all the way down to the I-95 split. You'll need to allow 24 minutes to get from 295 over to I-95. And then once you get onto the Fuller Warren Bridge heading southbound along I-95, it's going to be 3 minutes to get across the bridge into San Marco. Traffic moving at an average of 19 miles per hour. We'll keep you updated with your next Keith Pearson Toyota Time Saver Traffic.
Breaking overnight, he built an empire and gave generations of men a robe-clad role model. Hugh Hefner, the ultimate playboy, died last night.
So the iconic founder of Playboy was 91 years old. Melanie's joining us now. Mel, celebrities, fans are remembering the man known as Hef.
It's interesting to hear the memories, too, because he was here for so long. But according to a statement from Playboy, Hugh Hefner died at his home. He was around his family of natural causes right there at the Playboy Mansion. Hefner founded Playboy back in 1953. He built that magazine into a multi-million-dollar entertainment industry. That, at its peak, included a TV show, jazz festivals, and a string of clubs whose cocktail waitresses all, of course, were wearing those bunny ears, and the cottontail. The man known as Hef lived the lifestyle he helped create. We have aerial video of the Playboy Mansion in Los Angeles, where decades this pipe-smoking, a silk pajama-wearing icon held his parties filled with celebrities and Playboy models. Hollywood is remembering Hef fondly. Ryan Seacrest said this: "Rest in peace, Hugh Hefner. He will forever be remembered as the Hollywood legend who lived life to the fullest." Rob Lowe sent out a tweet saying, "I had a number of great conversations with Hugh Hefner. Was such an interesting man, true legend. What an end of an era." Now, overnight, crowds gathered at the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Definitely an icon. Growing up as a kid, you know, checking Dad's books.
Well, as far as women's rights go, he didn't really help that a lot. But he does have a legacy in that the Playboy magazine did do a lot of groundbreaking things in terms of political articles.
Hefner is survived by his wife, Crystal, as well as his daughter, Christy, and his sons, David, Marston, and Cooper. And while his funeral or burial plans are unclear at this point, reports do suggest his final resting place might be next to Marilyn Monroe. Now, according to The Guardian, he bought the plot next to her at the Westwood Village Memorial Park in Los Angeles nearly 25 years ago. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
We continue to follow local breaking news alert right now. Just over half an hour ago, JSO released new information about a shooting in Durkeeville.
Police tell News4Jax they were called to an apartment complex on Payne Court at about 5:30 this morning. They found someone shot twice inside one of the units at that apartment. That neighborhood less than a mile from UF Health. The person was taken to the hospital with what are described as non-life-threatening injuries. Know anything, because police are still looking for the shooter. They want to hear from you. After Maria, the island of Puerto Rico remains in a crisis state, left powerless, literally, and with no way to get aid to its people.
And the island's governor expects all villages to be inspected by the end of the day today. 97% of the territory is still in the dark. Much needed supplies and aid still on the way or sitting at port. Later today, at the request of Puerto Rico's governor, a group of Florida leaders, including Governor Rick Scott, will travel to the island to help kind of coordinate response and recovery efforts after the hurricane.
As the humanitarian crisis continues to worsen by the day, more help is on the way from this area. Channel 4's Chris Parento is live with ways that we can all help. Chris.
Bruce, with every day that passes, the need for fuel, food, water, and supplies to help recover in Puerto Rico grows even more. And this weekend, there are 3 different events locally where you can donate to help those in need. This Saturday, across from Oakleaf Elementary School at the athletic fields, Flight Star will be collecting supplies with their biggest need being water, non-perishable food, batteries, and baby toiletries. That event runs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also Saturday at the Italian American Club in Palm Coast from 6 p.m. to midnight, the club will be hosting a fundraiser. They're charging $25 per person, all of which goes to relief efforts. The Puerto Rican and Hispanic Chamber of Commerce will be hosting an event at the Jacksonville Landing. They're asking for hygiene products, utility items like flashlights and tarps, water, and summer clothes. That event runs from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Governor Rick Scott will be making the trip over to San Juan today, along with the Adjutant General of the Florida National Guard, Major General Michael Calhoun, the Commissioner of FDLE, and other Florida emergency management officials to try to help figure out how they can help best move the recovery efforts along in Puerto Rico. Live this morning, I'm Chris Parento, Channel 4, the local station.
Chris, thank you. Covering St. Johns County, St. Augustine Beach City Commissioners are tackling the budget, and a big part of that is property taxes.
So tonight's meeting is the final budget hearing. While some say that they want to keep the city's current millage rate, others want it to be lower. Channel 4's Ashley Harding is in St. Augustine Beach with a look at what homeowners are saying.
We spoke to several homeowners off camera who say for the most part they're pretty okay with their property taxes as they are right now. But at the last budget hearing, the city opted to keep the current millage rate at this number right here. But keep in mind that could change tonight. Now, one of the commissioners says she would like to see the millage rate roll back to what it used to be. That's this number right here. It's about a 7% difference. She says for some families, that difference adds up.
St. Augustine Beach Commissioner Maggie Kotzka knows local politics. But as a small business owner, she also gets property taxes. Kotzka will be at the budget hearing tonight. And a look at St. Augustine Beach from our Sky 4 helicopter shows you just how widespread city property is. City leaders will discuss keeping the current property tax. Kotzka wants that number to be rolled back.
Before you ask our citizens to put more money into the pockets of our city, we need to find ways to cut expenses so that we don't need to constantly do that.
We checked with the city and found many reasons for keeping property taxes the same. A big part of it has to do with putting more money into the city's reserves.
A big one listed is making sure the city of St. Augustine Beach is in a stronger financial position moving forward. Another reason listed is making repairs to this retention pond on Mizell Road. The city says part of it collapsed during Hurricane Irma.
So you're probably wondering, what exactly does this mean for you, the homeowner, in terms of dollars?
Let's just say your property is appraised at about $200,000. The city says homeowners would save about $30 per year if that millage rate rolled back.
In a report posted online, the city manager told the commission that rolling back the millage rate would reduce the general fund budget by more than $135,000. And the administration doesn't see how this can be done without affecting services, such as law enforcement and the Public Works Department. But for Kotzka, keeping a higher property tax isn't the answer to the city's issues.
Learn how to work with what you have in the best way that you can.
And that budget hearing is happening at 5 o'clock tonight in St. Augustine Beach. I'm Ashley Harding, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Ashley. New at 8, the fate of Putnam County's Campbell Building could be decided tonight. The structure is owned by the Putnam County School Board.
According to the Palatka Daily News, the board's real estate agent will give the board an update about potential buyers. It could also be donated to a nonprofit organization. Let you know what happens during tonight's meeting. Worried that your partner or significant other cheated on you?
New research says that you can tell simply by listening to their voice. We break down the science behind this claim.
And it's Thursday, one day closer to the weekend. Sun is shining, ocean is calm. Temperature's going to warm up to unseasonably hot temperatures. Going to feel like triple digits. Rich will have your forecast.
Major changes, though, are on tap for women and when they get screened for cervical cancer.
Dr. Scott Ackerman's here. We're going to talk about what this means for you next.
Shop Clothes Mentor.
Every year, 13,000 women develop cervical cancer. Of that, more than 4,000 die as a result. That's according to numbers from the American Cancer Society. But for many women, screening for cervical cancer may have gotten much simpler. Joining me now to talk about this is Dr. Scott Ackerman. Basically, the powers that be have simplified the process. How so?
Well, this is the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, which is a governmental organization that looks at screening guidelines for all sorts of cancers, and they also look at guidelines for health, good health in general. And what they did regarding simplifying the process is just another step forward in the changes of guidelines for cervical cancer. About 5 years ago, the new guidelines came out that recommended less frequent pap smears, less frequent screening for cervical cancer, which included pap smear. And so instead of doing it every year, the recommendation was to do it every 3 years or do a pap smear and what's called a HPV test every 5 years. And so the new guidelines that just were announced yesterday and are still up for public discussion and public comment says now to do a pap smear every 3 years or do a pap smear, or do the HPV test every 5 years.
But as we look at this graphic here, you'll notice that the recommendations vary by age.
Right, so no screening until you're 21 years old. Because that just puts a lot of undue stress, and there's very, very low incidence of cervical cancer in women under the age of 21. Now that's unless of course a woman has HIV or something like that. That would put them at higher risk. Women between the ages of 21 and 29 should have a pap smear only every 3 years. So no HPV test. The HPV test is an interesting test because we have found that over 70% of cervical cancers are associated with the HPV virus. And so we look at the HPV as an indicator as to whether or not a woman would be at higher risk for cervical cancer. But as it so happens, many, many women have HPV sometime in their life. Nearly anyone who's sexually active has the HPV virus. It may come and go. And women between the ages of 21 and 29 have such a high incidence of HPV, it's not worth looking at because it's going to cause undue anxiety. So pap smear alone between the ages of 21 and 29.
But there is one school of thought that says the co-testing, both the HPV and pap test together, might be the way to go for some.
Right, and so the Gynecologic Society and the Society of Gynecologic Oncologists still say that the HPV and the pap smear should be done hand in hand in women between the ages of 30 and 65.
And it's interesting to note that cervical cancer screening is one of the greatest success stories in cancer prevention.
Oh, absolutely. The incident rate of cervical cancer has dropped by half in 40 years. So back in the 70s, when I was younger, we would have double the incidence of cervical cancer and hence double the death rate of cervical cancer. So it's estimated that this year alone, 4,000 women will be alive, will live, will not die because of cervical cancer screening.
Yeah. So the bottom line is what you should do is not necessarily follow the guidelines, but talk to your doctor and come to a consensus because, you know, together you can decide what's best for you. Know somebody who may find this information helpful? We'll have it posted about 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning on the morning show page at newsforjax.com. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the weather because today, another warm one, Rich.
It is going to be another warm one, but it's pretty starts out there. We saw a little light haze and some thicker fog up around Brunswick. Other than that, a nice start here as we get ready to make our way through this Friday Eve. Into the satellite shot, and we've got the three-peat happening. You got Maria as the tropical storm, the Category 2 Hurricane Lee, and then a low-pressure area with room to grow here. 20 to a 40% chance, not the best, but either way, this becomes part of our nor'easter here for this weekend. Into the forecast we go, where we have 72 degrees outside right now under those calm conditions. Caught you 8-mile visibility here for Jacksonville. As we look out even via the tower cam, we could see some of that haze. Big improvements for Brunswick, and we continue with nearly all 10s with the exception there up around the airport, with just some light haze. Near record highs in the forecast for today. 96 would be the high. Yesterday, we were only 1 degree off of tying a high record. We'll come up about 4 degrees shy of it today, but the triple digits, that's the story for today, is that it's going to feel 100 to 105. Upper 60s, Homerville, everybody else in the 70s, and the warm-up returning back to those Golden Isles. Seeing less of the 60s. This is how we started this morning with those 70s near Keystone, Hawthorne, Putnam Hall, and it was the 60s elsewhere. So let's take this into play. There's that low pressure area. Only one model, the GFS, tries to develop it as it gets closer to about Palm Beach, but you'll see that this one kind of negates that, as we're not seeing the full-scale circulation, and by that I mean we would start to see some of that counterclockwise flow around this low. So this one looks like it's based a little bit more into what would be the European model. Here's where we start to see the wind picking up on Friday. Note the timeline. We're at, say, 6 o'clock in the evening. That wind will continue to punch through, becomes part of our Saturday forecast, and Sunday is going to be the stronger of the 2 days, as the pinch between will get tighter and our winds will increase, with gusts taking us 30, 40 miles an hour. 80s, low 90s, coastal zones moving inland. We're looking at low 90s to the mid 90s. Apply the humidity to it. Places like Fargo feel 105, 104 at Waycross, 101 to 103 for